to ask the Scottish Government what discussions it has had with Police Scotland regarding possible criminal charges against former NHS Tayside surgeon Sam Eljamel.
Cabinet Secretary.
Presiding Officer, Scottish Government officials met with Police Scotland in June to discuss the establishment of the public inquiry and other developing work. As there is currently an ongoing Police Scotland investigation into the practices of Mr Eljamel, it would not be appropriate for the Scottish Government to comment further.
Michael Marra.
Last week, Pat Kelly and Jules Rose, two victims of Eljamel and tireless campaigners for justice for all victims, staged a protest outside the Dundee Police headquarters. Their protest marked 6 years since complaints were lodged regarding former NHS Tayside surgeon Sam Eljamel. Campaigners have spent a decade fighting for justice. The content of the case is not a matter for the Cabinet Secretary, but the performance of our police is. Surely the Cabinet Secretary cannot believe that a 6-year delay is in any way acceptable.
Cabinet Secretary.
Presiding Officer, I know that Mr Marra and others, and in particular Liz Smith, have diligently advocated on behalf of former patients of Mr Eljamel. I am also aware of the representations that those campaigners and those impacted have made to Police Scotland, and I acknowledge the timeframes referenced by Mr Marra. If I could point to the public statement made by Police Scotland when they say this is an extremely complex investigation which has been investigated by specialist officers from the major investigation team. Inquiries remain ongoing and we continue to work alongside partner agencies.
Supplementary, Liz Smith.
Thank you. Cabinet Secretary, a year ago at First Minister's Questions, I asked the then First Minister Hamza Yousaf if the Scottish Government would consider a victim support fund for the patients, not least because of the delays that Mr Marra has just cited. These patients, I didn't repeat to the Chamber, are undergoing terrible both physical and mental problems. Would the Government continue to support them, please?
Cabinet Secretary.
Presiding Officer, while the very last thing I would do to either Ms Smith or indeed to victims is stand here and make promises that I may or may not be able to keep, but can I say to Ms Smith I would be more than happy to discuss this matter with her in further detail.
Thank you. I would advise members that I have 3 more.